So, as you can see in the corner right there, it's pretty hard to see since it was in the corner and it was very difficult to record. But that is a shell dweller, and as you can see, he's just swimming up in the corner. He has been basically kicked out from the rest of the other fish, and this typically happens to male shell dwellers. Most of the males, smaller males, will get kicked out pretty easily once the tank is full with shell dwellers. And it is inevitable because the shell dwellers are going to keep making babies until eventually they start kicking them out. And eventually you're going to get ones that are forced into corners or other places that they don't want to be in. And this is not good. And as a fish keeper, you want to try and keep your fish deaths to a minimum. So what I'm going to do is I have already planned this out, and I highly recommend if you're going to get shell dwellers, you should also have a plan for dealing with abandoned shell dwellers, because this is going to happen. So what I've decided to do was I already planned for this, and I have bought the largest size Marina breeder box. This is a hang-on back breeder box which you could put fish in. It's technically used to breed fish, but I'm just using it as a safe place for smaller shell dwellers when they get kicked out, so that I could have some more to put on. Having this breeder box is convenient because it just hangs on the back. Shell dwellers are small fish, so it's really fine, especially with the babies. And also, it is a nice form factor to the tank, all while having good care for your shell dwellers. So what I did was I caught the little baby shell dweller. Since it was basically pushed up in a corner, it's fairly easy to catch, and I put it in this breeder box. You don't have to specifically get the breeder box I have. This is some Marina extra large breeder box, which is the largest size they have. But I just highly recommend having a plan to deal with this one having to shell dwellers, either having another tank or having a breeder box. The thing I like about the breeder box is it's fairly large enough for the shell dwellers, as well as the fact that you could just hang out the back instead of having a whole new tank set up. It's also fairly cheap, and it is air pump driven, so you have to have your own air pump, which is, I'm not a fan of air pumps to be honest, but it produces low flow, so in the case of baby fish, you don't have to worry about them getting sucked up or washed out of the breeder box. The good thing is that it's already using water from your tank, so your fish doesn't have to acclimate to new water conditions. Now, as you can see, I also have a few other snails in there, because I've actually bred some of my apple snails, but the main purpose I got this for was in case of shell dwellers, but being able to breed apple snails is kind of another perk that came along with it. Okay, so I'm gonna be starting a shell dweller care guide series. Basically, some of my videos already have some details on that already, so I highly recommend that you go through my playlist. I create playlists with content kind of guided towards different viewers, depending on what you like to see. So I really highly recommend you check out my playlist, and one of these playlists will be the shell dweller care guide. So if you're really interested in how to care for shell dwellers, and this is one of the videos you saw, you can check out all my videos specifically pertaining to shell dwellers care in those playlists. And you can also see my other playlists with some very interesting videos, especially my bangers. I highly recommend you check those out. Put a lot of work into those, and they're pretty, I'd say, more on the entertaining side.